And then he goes to the main item of the practice. This is what he calls purview of the yoga science. Hereafter, the second chapter begins, what Patanjali calls the action of yoga, what we have to do. Start with doing something prescribed. The first thing to do is, in Sanskrit he calls it tapas. That means one-pointedness of the whole life. Make your life purposive of your practice. Have your main aim only your practice. Don't deceive yourself by believing that by practicing yoga or spiritualism you will get some benefits. The very benefit is the ease and happiness you experience, and the path itself is the goal. And if you believe that there is something beneficial out of it, better you can stop it, because you will be utterly disappointed after some time. For example, some people begin to practice yoga for what they call powers. They are deceiving themselves, because God is not a fool to confer powers for certain practices. There is a purpose for creation, that is happiness. And the purpose of yoga practice is happy living to others and to yourself. And except the science of spiritualism, there is nothing in this world that can bring happiness to you and others. And if people believe that their luck will increase with the practice of yoga, it is false, because the very idea of luck is foolish, because everything depends upon how we do things and how we think and our motives in doing. It is thoroughly scientific and materialistic understanding which makes you a real spiritualist. Unless you are a thorough materialist, you cannot be a true spiritualist. If you have something imaginative in your mind, you will suffer from self-mystification for some time and self-stupefaction with astral influences for some time. Stupid. Yes. Self-deception. Because in trying to deceive others, we will deceive ourselves. So what he says is, understand that every item you do in your daily routine should be utilized for your spiritual practice. Whatever benefit you get in life is an implement or instrument for your practice. If you get $10,000 suddenly unexpected, try to understand the better use of that money, how to enhance your practice, how to increase your consciousness, to discover how best you can utilize the money. Similarly, your energy, similarly your time, and the space in your house and office. Whatever wealth you have, you will be able to make an implement of your practice. If you make something very tasty to eat, understand the pleasurability of the taste can be utilized for your spiritualness. That is what is called dedicating everything to the Lord. Do everything with a spirit of dedication. Believe that it is a step which can be utilized for your betterment by utilizing it for the betterment of others. That is what is called tapas. So, have the same aim in doing everything. Today, your departments of life may appear different from one another, but tomorrow you will understand that all of them are one counterparts of one existence. Your life in the profession and office, your life in the domestic circle, your life in the friend circle, they may appear as three different departments not having anything in common. But when you begin yoga practice, you will understand all the three are parts of your life. You will know the oneness of your activity. That awareness is called tapas. It is wrongly translated as penance or penitence. And the second thing he advises us is, there are three types of the austerity of life. The one is mental. The second is vocal. The third is physical.